Thank you. So if we remember, some of us attended the last workshop also where we talked about the graphs and charts and data visualization in Excel. Today we will be talking on team. Please keep on allowing the people in admit all, and it will allow everybody in. Right, those who are joining now, please allow them in. Okay. Rameshji, we are recording it. I'll give you access to it for some period of time. Last time there was some issue, so I could not, but this time we'll definitely do. Okay. So today's title is the most used formulas in business world. How many of us, just to get a quick idea, how many of us are using Excel in day-to-day life? Because today's session will start from very basics, and then we'll go on to understand how this is applied in business world. Idea of today's session is not to just talk of the basic functions or something. Idea is to relate it to how the business world uses these functions, and also to go ahead and learn few new functions which are available in 365 in other versions and which are now being used and asked in various interviews, etc. So that is what we talk of. Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks, Dr. Shishte. Thanks, Shish. So I've shared a lot of files. My ambitious plan is to cover as many of these as possible. Although I totally understand that probably by the end of it, I may not be able to cover everything. But yes, let us try to do this. Let us come to worksheet A. Right, this will be an interactive masterclass, so that once we talk on, if you have any queries, I'll stop and ask you to. If you have any queries, I'll try to solve it. At the same time, we'll try to keep the pace so that who has understood does not have to wait for long. Okay, if I come to worksheet A, can you see the worksheet A? Now it has company names, few companies, the products. Anubhav, I'll give you access. We'll give you some time of access for having a look at the recording. I've started the recording. Okay, so company name, the products, the region, and the sales. Right, starting with something very basic, and then we try to go a little advanced on it and see how it is used. One of the most used functions, can anybody tell me what one of the most used function in business world will be? What? The most used functions across. Very true. Sum, VLOOKUP, sum. VLOOKUP is there, but VLOOKUP probably is the third. XLOOKUP is a new thing. Filter, sum, very true. Okay, if I look at it and if I say the most used function will be sum, right? Sum and average will be used by not will be left. No, not at all, Shankar. That first session was regarding graphs and charts in Excel, and this is regarding functions. So this is a totally new session, not related at all. Anyways, so sum is one function which is used across. If I say by the usage, sum is one function which will use across. So if I have this data and if somebody asks me, can you tell me the total number of units sold? Total number of units sold. So obviously what I'm going to use is a sum function, right? I'm starting with sum just to start with it, and then we go ahead and look at it. Ashish, very true. Sum, average, yes. VLOOKUP, yes. XLOOKUP is new, not available in all the versions. So it is available in 21. It is available in 365. We'll go ahead, but we'll also cover XLOOKUP today. Anyways, so this is the data, and if somebody asks me the total of it, the best thing we do is what? We come here when we say equal to sum, and we select the range to get the total number of units sold across all regions. Just a minute. Okay. To get the total number of units sold across all regions, the function we use is a sum. Everybody has used sum. This is what I understand and expect. And so I'll go beyond this. What is the shortcut to put the sum here? The shortcut is Alt equal to. Alt equal to. The moment I use Alt equal to, I can add this up. The moment I use Alt equal to, very true, Yash, very true, Shish. The moment I say Alt equal to, I can add this up. This gives me 646. That means the total number of units sold across all regions for all products by the company name is 646. So how do we do it? The shortcut to add all the numbers together is what? Alt equal to. The moment you say Alt equal to, it will select the range, the continuous range which is above. it will select the continuous range which is above and press enter. So it will give me the answer to be 646. Great. So this was just a icebreaker where I wanted to start. Okay, if I have one very interesting question, just give me a minute. I'll just set this up somewhere. Okay. If I change the question now and I say, can you tell me the total number of units sold? Total number of units sold for product soap. There are various products: soap, detergent, shampoo, conditioner, etc. So what I'm asking is, can you tell me the total number of units sold for a product which is soap? Right? Which function we use? Very true, Tanisha, Satakshi. It is SUMIF. Can we apply the SUMIF? If conditioning. Very true. I'll take this function in detail because there may be a lot of us who have not used SUMIF before, but I'll take this function in slightly detail now. Is the question clear? Just let me know quickly. Is the question clear? Question is, can you tell me the total number of units sold for the product which is the soap? I want to see wherever the soap comes in, I want to add those numbers. Right? So the question asked was, how many units, total units of soap product soap was sold? So I'll use a function which is SUMIF. Any idea how SUMIF works? There are three things that will ask. It will ask the range, it will ask the criteria, and it will ask the sum range. It will ask the range, the criteria, and the sum range. Now the range which it is asking is first, is the range where you have to apply the criteria. So I'll go here, click on this, Control Shift down arrow. So I'll select this range. What is the criteria out here? Just apply the SUMIF formula and tell me what answer are we getting. If others, those who know SUMIF, can apply the formula and let me know what answer are we getting. Okay, what is the sum range? This is the sum range. I'll leave the last one. I'll not take 646, which is the total of it. Bracket close and enter. So are we all getting 178? Quickly check and let me know. Are we all getting 178 as the answer? If you have any doubts with the, I'll repeat this. The question was, how many total number of units were sold for a product which is soap? So I used a function which is SUMIF, sum under a condition. It asked me, give me the range. So I selected this range on which the criteria was to be applied. And I told him that here you have to look for a criteria which is a soap. Then it asked me, team, can you share the Excel file over the chat so that they can download it? Romesh is directly messaging that he does not have the Excel file. Okay, so criteria is the soap and the sum ranges. That means where you have to add. If I find a soap here, this number has to be added. Soap here, this number has to be added. So I select this range. I close the bracket. And I say enter. Yes, Aryan, you will. For a specific period of time, you will be allowed the access for the recording. That's why we are recording. Don't worry. So are we getting 178? Are we getting 178? 178 is not the right answer. Someone wrote 197. How many? 178 is not the right answer. Reason being, because that is where we may go wrong at times. If I take a decision based on 178, it may go wrong. Reason being, at the first soap level, if the data is not clean, it will not give me the right answer. Just have a look. At the first soap level, what is there? There's a space after soap. So the moment you have a space after soap, it will not consider this, because I have put in what I have put in. If you see the formula here, I have put in soap within double quotes. So there is no space. Space is a character. So we have two options out here, right? Is the problem clear? This 178 is not considering this 19. This 178 is not considering this 119. Reason is very simple, because I put in soap. But this first soap, if you look at the data, can you see a space after soap? right? That means the data is not clean. If I remove this space, just have a look, the answer changes to 197. The answer changes to 197. So how to deal with this problem? There are two ways. First way is I could have used a trim function and trimmed out this. So that means all extra spaces could have been removed. I'll tell you a second way, which is a better way in this case. I'll put a sign which is star. As some of us already wrote, Tanisha wrote it, we wrote. I put a sign after SOAP which is star. Whenever I put a star, these are known as wildcards in Excel. These are known as wildcards in Excel. What it does is it is telling Excel that after SOAP there can be any character. There can be a dot, there can be a space, there can be anything. If you believe there is a space or something before SOAP also, you could have put in 1 star here also. Now when I press enter, I get the answer 197, which is the right answer. Right? Is anybody having any problem in this? I am putting the formula in the chat box also. So you can copy it here and apply it. Just have a look at it, try it. If anyone has any problem, because this is the first formula, I'll wait for you to give me the confirmation that this is done. If you have any issues in this, please do let me know. Yes, I'll repeat that. Anvesha, what I'm saying is, the moment you say a star, the moment you put a star, stars are the wildcards in Excel. So if I leave it this way and don't put any star, it will only give me the answer wherever there's a SOAP. There is no space after it, there is no dot after it. The moment I give it a star, I'm telling there has to be a SOAP, but there can be anything after that also. That means there can be anything. It can be a space, it can be a dot, it can be anything. You can put Delhi in criteria, Argup, if you have selected the range to be Delhi. We'll do that also, don't worry. Right? I hope this is clear now. Please put a quick yes if you could understand what I talked of right now. Quick yes in the chat box. There are 264, almost 260 participants out here. And thank you for the overwhelming response coming out here. Just a quick yes will help. If there's a space before SOAP, you have to put a 1 or 2 or 3. You put a star before SOAP also. So you are telling Excel there can be anything before SOAP also. Great. Now I changed the question a bit. Now what I'm saying is I'm onto a very, very basic sheet right now. Let us talk of it in detail. Now what I'm saying is, can you tell me how many times, how many total number of units were sold of SOAP in Delhi? How many total number of units? What if instead of SOAP it is SOAP? It will work. It's not a case sensitive function. SOAP or SOAP written in any form, it will work. It's not a case sensitive function. Okay. What I'm saying is, can you tell me how many total number of units were sold for SOAP in Delhi? I'll put 3 questions out here, one after the other, so that we have a quick revision of the most used functions in Excel, which are your SUMIFs, COUNTIF, and probably average if time permits. Otherwise, we'll go ahead. Is the question clear? How many total number of units were sold for a product SOAP in Delhi? Now, can you have here is SOAP and Delhi. Here is SOAP and Delhi. So wherever the SOAP and Delhi combination comes in, I want to add the sales unit from there. Is the question clear? Whenever you have more than one criteria, we use a function which is SUMIFs. Avantika, I did not ask how many times. I said how many total number of units were sold. The moment you say how many total number, that means you need to add these up. So it is SUMIFs, right? SUMIF. Now in SUMIF, the first thing it will ask you is the sum range. That means where I have to add eventually. The final addition has to happen where. So where I have to add? I have to add the sales unit. So I'll select the sales till this point. Now it is asking me what? It is asking me, give me the criteria range 1. So my criteria range 1, just see the selection. I am dragging it down this time just to show it to you. Criteria range 1. And what is the criteria here? Just to be overcautious, I'll take the criteria to be soap star stove, comma. What is your criteria range 2? This is the criteria range 2. And what is criteria 2? Delhi, star, this ends, this ends. Just have a look at the function. The moment I press enter, I get an answer to be 107. Just have a look at the function. Let me know whether it's working for all. And if you have any doubts, please do let me know. Wonderful, Tanisha, Tatakshi, Priyanka, Nimisha. Just have a look. So I'm putting the function in the chat box also. If you have any issues, please do let me know. Done, Shivam done, Shrishti done, Surya done. Wonderful. Others, we have so many participants out here. Instead of writing the criteria, cell referencing can be done. Cell referencing in okay. I give you a very interesting point, Divya. It can be done, but cell referencing, if you are writing, you are asking somebody to select the product and select the region out here. Yes, it's a better idea, but never always abstain from putting a cell reference within the data. That is not a good practice in the business world. Yes, if you give me a place here and say select the product, that can be done. Argo, we'll talk of it. VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, we'll talk of it in detail. One of the most used functions. Without that, Aryan, SUMIFS is a function when you want to add something with more than one condition. What are the two conditions here? You want the soap to be there, you want the Delhi to be there. So I started with it, asked me where to add. So I selected this range, D2 to D21. Then it asked me what is the first criteria range. I said B2 to B21 and the criteria is soap. Then it asked me the second criteria range. I said C2 to C21 and the criteria is Delhi. Once you add it, what this function will do? Aryan, what this function will do, it will look for soap and Delhi. Once both the condition meets, it will start adding the numbers corresponding to it. I put the formula in the chat box. You can copy it from there and save it for yourself. Hope this is clear with all, so that we can move ahead and see a jump in the level. Yes, Shirish, the difference between the two are, there are two differences. First is SUMIF will only take one condition. SUMIF will only take one condition. SUMIFs will take multiple conditions together. Right? Second difference in the syntax is it is asking you for the sum range at the end, SUMIF. Whereas this function will ask you for the sum range at the beginning. These are the two major differences. Is this clear, Shirish? Most welcome. Okay. Third question. Let me see who gives me the answer to this, and then we'll do it together. Third question is, can you tell me the total sales? The question, listen to the question carefully. The total sales of all the products which are sold in Delhi and Mumbai. The total sales of all the products which are sold in Delhi and Mumbai. That means wherever Delhi and Mumbai comes in, I want to add it up. There's a catch to it. Some of us would know this because we have done this before, but a lot of us won't. Is the question clear? I want to get the total sales of all the products that were sold in Delhi and Mumbai. So which formula should I use? Which formula should I use? If anyone can help me in the chat box. The total sales of all the products sold in Delhi and Mumbai. Just try it out and let me know what is the answer that we are getting. Others also may respond. Let me know if you are finding it going fast, slow. I'll help you and I'll try to adjust the pace accordingly, because I know there are a lot of people who are from different backgrounds who may have used, may not have used Excel much before. Some ifs, try it out. Bhamni, very true. Great. Yes. Is sum ifs, what answer are we getting, Avantika, by using sum ifs? I'll take this function. I just wait for everybody to just try for a minute. I'll do that. Adiva, I'll do that. I understand, but there's a lot of variation. I'll try to repeat it 2-3 times. I'll even give you access to the recording for some time so that you can follow along. $120. Okay, how many of us are, Tanisha? Very good, 351. Are we getting zeros, anyone? If I use a sum ifs, I may end up getting a zero. Right? Reason being, please understand, if I use a sum ifs, we end up getting a zero. Reason is very simple. Sum ifs ask you for a sum range. Right? Just give me a minute. I'll tell you why. And this should be known because this is one problem a lot of us faces in the business world once we enter it, or once we are using it in our academics also, in business world also. Now it is asking me for sum range. I go and select the sum range, right? Comma. What it is asking me next? Criteria range 1. I go and select the criteria range 1 and give it a criteria to be Delhi. Right? I could have put in stars, leaving it for the time being. I go and select the criteria range 2 and select the criteria to be Mumbai. The moment I press enter, it gives me answer to be 0. The reason being, Excel is trying to look for Delhi and Mumbai together. If you remember here, what it was trying to look for, soap and Delhi together. Now in the same range, Excel is trying to look for Delhi and Mumbai together. Is there any place where Delhi and Mumbai are together? Is there any place where Delhi and Mumbai are together? Right? If there is no place where Delhi and, yes, Millie, very true. If there is no place where Delhi and Mumbai are together, so what answer it will give you? It will give you a 0. Right? So how should we take it? If I would have done it manually, what I would have done, I would have marked all the Delhis, all the Mumbais and added it up. Yes, Aprajita, I'll do that. What I am saying, yes, Ashish, we'll use a sum if. If I use a sum ifs, it is trying to look for Delhi and Mumbai together in one place. And there is no place where Delhi and Mumbai are together, so it is giving you a 0. Instead of this, what we have to do is, we have to use a sum if. It is asking me for the range. I'll select this range and give it a criteria to be Delhi. It is asking me for the sum range. So I go and select the sum range. Now what I'll do is, I'll put a plus sign in between. That means I am saying first add all the Delhis. Now again a sum if, again the same range, but the criteria this time becomes Mumbai, comma, and the sum range becomes this. What I have told Excel now, I have told first add all the Delhi, then add all the Mumbais, and then add them up. So answer will come out to be 351. Just have a look at it and let me know if you could understand the logic behind it. Very common problem in business world, very common. And as I said, in this particular masterclass, right, once we do the workshops, we'll pick it up from very basics, take it up slowly. But in this masterclass, my total perspective is to bring in functions and put it in a perspective, how it is used in the real world, and where all we may go wrong. Is this clear? Have a look at the formula, try it out and let me know. If you have any doubts in this, please do let me know. If you want, I'll put the formula in the chat box. I'll put it. Please ask in everyone in the meeting. I'll put the formula. You can use stars. You should use stars, in fact. Mayank, there is only one criteria now. The criteria is Delhi or Mumbai. You could use sum if. Sum if will also work, Mayank. But the issue is, we don't have two criteria. So it is better to use a sum if, so that anybody reading your function will understand you have used one criteria. You can use and or, but not in this case. Okay, what you are saying, Gaurav, you are saying sum ifs के अंदर you use a or and. Try it out. Let me know if it works. Or and will give you a true and false. You need a if condition in it. How would you add it? Adesh, not working? Just try the formula. I pasted it in chat box. Copy it and paste it. See if it's working now. Wonderful, Mohit. Others also, please confirm whether yes, if it is working. There are 260 of us, 250, 55, 58, whatever, around 260. Please put a yes. I'll be happy to see a lot of us responding on this. Wonderful. Thanks for confirmation. This helps me understand we are going in the right way. Is it 120? Answer is, I'll tell you, 351. Shankar, if it is coming out to be 120, probably one of the spellings of Mumbai or Delhi may have gone wrong. Satakshi, we don't use filter, as I have been consistently mentioning. Filter will take you 10 times. If I ask you once Delhi, then Chennai, then Mumbai, then etc., it will become very difficult. In fact, we should not have used Delhi and Mumbai. I should have asked enter region 1, enter region 2, and then link this formula to that cells. 351 is the right answer. We may use filter for once if I have to do it once only. What is the question? Delhi, Mumbai is to type manually, sir. Here, just to show you, I am typing it manually. I could have done something like this also. I could have asked you to type region 1 here and region 2 here. Right? Then within this formula, what I could have done, instead of writing, and here I could have written Delhi and here I could have written Mumbai. Right? And then in this formula, what would have been better? Instead of writing it like this, I could have linked it to Delhi and could have linked this to Mumbai. What it would have done is, just have a look if you understand what I am saying. What this would have done would have given me the same answer. But now if somebody asks me, can you give me for Delhi and Chennai? So I would have just changed Chennai out here and I would have got the new answer. Why? Because now I have linked it to a particular point where I'm asking you to give me a region 1 and region 2. And going ahead, I'll also tell you could have even created a drop down from where you could have selected Delhi, Chennai, and then got the answers. Is this clear? We can. So Nali, we should. I just to make it easier, not to confuse, I have not put stars. We should. If you believe there may be errors or spaces, we have to do that cleaning. Sum ifs can be used, but then also you have to use it in the same way. Sum ifs. Priyanshu, don't worry. We'll have answer to this. Sir, my answer is 387. 387 won't be the answer. Just check if while taking, once you are referring to this, okay, I'll also check if we all are getting the wrong answers and he's getting the right answer. Can it be the case? Have we used the stars, anyone? And Mumbai, and I'll put a star. No, 351 is the answer. Mohit, you can put the formula in here and we can just have a quick look. Got it. Thank you. Most welcome. What? Can we? Yes, I'll share Vipin. Drop down Adesh, I'll tell. Going ahead. 314 is not correct. Something is missing. Either the ranges have not been selected correctly. Yes. Then also we are getting, Tanisha, we are getting 351 only, right? Wonderful. 351 is the answer. This is the answer. Okay, I'll put it in the chat box. Some if we have already covered. So in case we have any issues, you can have a look at it. Now H4 wala function will not work for you. I've already put it before. So region, once again, I did not get your point. This one, Vardhan, this is what you want me to explain. What I said is I could have done two things. When it was asking me what to look for, I could have typed in within double quotes, I could have said Delhi. Right? I could have written like this. Instead of this, what I am saying enter the region out here and I'm linking it to this cell. So whenever you change any region out here, now you say Chennai. So it will take what? Now it will start taking for Chennai and Mumbai. The answer becomes for Chennai and Mumbai. So this way, this becomes very much customized. So you have one answer, somebody comes in and asks you, can you give me for Chennai and Delhi? You say, okay, fine, I'll give you for Chennai and Delhi. You put in here Chennai, you put in here Delhi, you get a 314 as the answer. So whenever you have to do it repeatedly, instead of hard coding Delhi and Mumbai inside, link it to the cell. Is this clear? Okay, great. Some FC H4, D4, Argo C, then H4 and H5 has to have the data. Hopefully it is working. Okay, we'll just move a step ahead. I'll take the problems again in the end if somebody has any. Now, if I have to instead of adding all, somebody is asking me to count the number of times the product was sold in Delhi. Which function? Can you tell me the number of times the product was sold in Delhi? It has to be countif. Count the number of times, or tell me the number of times the product was sold in Delhi. The function will be countif. If the question is count the number of times the product was sold in Delhi and the product was soap. Very true, Tanisha. Delhi 4. And the product was soap. Soap in Delhi. Which function? You use a function which is count. You have two conditions now. Count ifs. How do you use it? This is your criteria range 1. And you say the criteria is soap. Right? This is your criteria range 2. This I'm running slightly faster. If you find it difficult, do let me know. I'll take this. Because I want to cover VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, which is very, very, very important. Right? So what it is giving? It is giving me soap in Delhi. So what it is doing now, when you are countifs, you can use, you should, in fact, I am just to make it easier, I'm saying you should use stars. The moment you use stars, see the answer is changed to 3. Those who are getting 2, answer is wrong. Answer is 3. Why? Because soap has a space after it. Right? So this is the countif. What it is doing, it is counting every time soap and Delhi comes together. Every time soap and Delhi comes together, it gives the number of times. Adesh, it is used because soap, after this soap, there is a space. If you don't use the star, it will not consider this soap and Delhi combination. Star is a wild card. Wonderful. Okay, great. Let me come to another sheet. I understand it may be slightly difficult for some of us. Don't worry. I'll share this recording. You can go through it and even we can connect afterwards if you have some problem. Can we come to worksheet F? Because a lot of us are saying they have not heard about VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. Let me cover those functions first before I come back to few more here and there. Can we come to worksheet F? Right, just to give you a brief overview, not right now. We need not share it right now. But by the end of the session, we will be sharing the attendance sheet and the feedback form that you have to fill in for the certificates to be flowed in. We are not sharing right now, but we'll share in the end, where you will have to fill in the form, fill in the feedbacks also. And that, please make sure your names are correct. I'll talk of it later again. Can we come to worksheet F? Are we all on worksheet F? Worksheet F. Great. Okay. Now the problem is F and worksheet 1 are very, very, very interesting worksheets. Very interesting worksheets. I'll take you through very, very, very interesting points out here. Now in worksheet F, I want to retrieve the department and salary of everyone whose name I put in the employee. That means if I'm looking for whoever's names I put in here, I want to retrieve the department of salary of that person. One way is to type the name, other way is to create a drop down and select the name. So just to take how the drop downs are created, I'll create a drop down here. Okay, just follow the steps. Step 1, what I want to do is I want to create a drop down of the names out here so that I can I can select the name. Step 1, go to data tab. On the right side in data tools, there is a data validation. Yes, there's a data validation. Click on data validation. This comes up, right? I'll take this again. Click on this cell, go to data tab at the top. From the data tab, come down to data validation on this side. Click on data validation. In data validation, any value, there's a drop down. Click on this. Go and select the list. Go and select the list. In the source, go and select the list. In the source, on the left side, go and select all these names. Go and select all these names and press OK. See, you have a drop down of names out here. You can select any name from this. If you want me to repeat it, I'll do that. Please do let me know. If this is fine, we can go ahead and write the formula. Wonderful. Okay, the steps are, I'll just remove this off and then we take the steps again. Steps are, at this place, what we do, we go to data tab, we go to data validation in data tools, click on this data validation, this comes up, we go to list. Where is the list? These are the exclusive list. If the name is repeated twice, it will create twice only, and we press OK. This is the drop down. Wonderful. Now, if I have to retrieve the name, how many, I believe a lot of us have used the VLOOKUP function. We are just revising the VLOOKUP before applying it in a different way. So if I have to retrieve the department of this particular employee, that means Mahika Goyal is out here. I want the department and salary, these two figures to be retrieved out here. What I do, I'll run a VLOOKUP. I'll run a VLOOKUP. It will ask me what to look up. I'll go and select this name. Right, VLOOKUP function, if you have not used before, I'll tell you what VLOOKUP is, because there was some of us who said they have not heard of VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is a function which helps you to retrieve from left to right. That means if I want a department of Mahika Goyal to be retrieved out here, I can use a VLOOKUP. Where is Mahika Goyal? In the leftmost column of this array. Right, and this is one of the most used. VLOOKUP is one function which I've seen being asked in every interview. Everywhere you go, you use the VLOOKUP. After sum and average, the function which is most used is VLOOKUP. So now VLOOKUP, what to look up? I want to look up this. Next thing, it will ask you where to look up. Where should I look up? Excel is asking where should I look up for Mahika Goyal. So I am going to select not only this, but the complete array. Excel will automatically look up for this particular name, which is Mahika Goyal, in the leftmost column of what you have selected. Comma. It is asking me for column index number. So what do I want here is department. Column index number means in this array, just see the cursor. In this array, this is column index number 1, this is column index number 2, and this is column index number 3. So if I want to retrieve my department, it is column index number. What is this column index number? This is column index number 2. So I'll go here and type 2. Right, now it is asking me if I don't get Mahika Goyal, do you want any other option? I don't want, so I'll write false. That means I want the exact match. I want the exact match. I'll close this off and press enter. See what it retrieves. What it is giving me? Mahika Goyal. If you look at here, Mahika Goyal department is marketing. So it is retrieving marketing out here. Interesting is, if I change this to Ishani, what is the department of Ishani? Or let us take Stu1. What is the department of Stu1? Can you just look at it and tell me? In which department is Stu1 working? He's working in finance, right? The moment I select Stu1 out here, the beauty of it is this will automatically change to finance. Why? Because now Excel will look for Stu1 out here and will retrieve the value in the second column of this array, which is finance. I'll select this name. It will work for this also. Is it working? Yes, Gaurav, column index number in a big data, you will have to then, although this in a very big data we don't apply it, but then you have to use a tricky function. I'll tell you later. You can just give me a call. I'll tell you. Right? Because you have to use the HLOOKUP. I'll go out of the session if I start doing it here. Done. Is this function applied by all, or do you want me to repeat it? I'll do that because this is one of the most important functions. Wonderful. Right? So if I have to repeat, I'll put it for salary. Disha, that will help, right? I'll put the same thing for salary. So I'm saying VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP what? VLOOKUP for this name. False is written, Angita, because we don't want, if Mahika is not available, suppose I write any other name, I want the error to come in and Excel not to give any other data. True is for specific ranges. Anyways, F4, I want to look for Rishita Verma. Where to look? It is asking me table array. So I say you have to look it out here. What should be the column index number for salary? It is approximate match. I'll do, if you say, I'll do one example. It is 3, comma, false again. False again. Enter. Now it is giving me Rishita Verma, department is HR, salary is this much. I can go on, keep on changing this. You go and ask anyone, it will keep on retrieving the right data. Once done, it may be a very big data. You will keep on getting the right answer the moment you put in the employee code or employee name or employee ID. Is this clear? Right. So it asks me for what to look up, where to look up, from where to retrieve, and whether you want a true or false. True is always used when reference means it's an error. You must not have selected the right range. Adiba, if you want, you can put the formula in the chat box. I'll help you out what incorrect, see what you have done. Error it will only give once you have not selected the right. Just give B3 to B12, 3 false, B3 to, you have only selected B3 to B12. You have to select B3 to D12. See my formula. It is B3 to D12. You have selected B3 to B12. Otherwise, put the formula in the direct mode so you others may not be getting what I'm answering. Please put it for everyone in the meeting. So then once I answer, everybody understands. Thanks. If there's a space, I'll get to it. I'll get to something interesting. How to put that? Okay. If somebody does not remember the complete name, he only remembers Mahika. Can I use a VLOOKUP to get department and salary? Can you help me with this? Try it out. So when we have to go both values at a time, we can say array function. Array function, which of the array functions, Vipin? Just try this one. Others, please try this one. Department. The question is, I don't have the complete name. I don't remember Mahika Goyal. I only remember Mahika. And I want her department and salary to be retrieved out. Or I only remember Ishani. I don't remember the complete name. How do I write the formula here so that the complete department salary of this person comes out whenever I type the first name? I understand, Vipin, with curly bracket, but now there are a lot of array functions that are available. So I'll tell you one or two array functions, time permits, you will understand what I'm saying, right? You can, but VLOOKUP will always retrieve the first value, the first match that it makes. So VLOOKUP is generally not applied to names also, it is always applied to the employee ID, which is a unique number. Right? Okay. Has anybody done this? Is anybody through with this? I'll try. No, it is not by typing true. Anushka, true is for something very different. Adesh, are you able to get the department salary? Using true, it won't work. It is giving you the wrong answer. Salary wala, I'll share it. Priyanka got it? Great. So this become hard coded, right? Because if we add any other name below the last name, Mahika will then won't. That is what I don't want, Mr. Sambit. I want this to change. I want this to change. You cannot create a drop down for this, or if you have the first names, you can create the drop down. But you will not be able to create the drop downs from here unless until you create a list of first names. I'll give you a very interesting. Okay, change Disha, just change Mahika to Jasvi. Are you still getting the answer? Just change Mahika to Jasvi. Are you still getting the answer as finance? Or you have to change the within the go inside the formula and change it? That means I want to link it here. I just want you will not get because you must have written Mahika and a star. So anyone, if you have done this, please do let me know. If you're not getting this, just put a no. I'll take it up. I'll tell you a very interesting way of doing this. Wonderful. Quick no's will also help so that I know that I need to take this up. Okay, great. So what I'll do, I'll just take it up in because we don't have much of time. Others who are trying, can you please left or len? No, won't work. Left or len is a. We don't have to separate Satakshi. We cannot do anything with the data. It will be, but how? That's the question, Tanisha. Okay, I'll tell you something very interesting. I am going to use the same function. Just have a look. I am going to use the VLOOKUP. Right? I'll tell you two ways. Yes, it will not work, Adesh, when you change the name because in the first case you hard coded Mahika with a star. It was working, but in the second case it won't. I'll tell you two ways. You have to find which works best for you. Okay, VLOOKUP. I go here and select this Mahika. I go here and select this off, comma 2, comma false. Obviously, this will not work because what you are trying to look up is Mahika and there is no Mahika, it's a Mahika Goel. So if you press enter, it will give you an error. Right? It will not work because once you press enter, it will give you an error as Adish was saying. Now, one way is at the entry level, because you know there are surnames, whenever you are typing a name of the employee, put a star out here. It will start working. No, approximate match is not meant for this, Nimisha. Approximate match has a separate usage. I'll tell you after this. Okay. One way is while typing the first name, just put a star after that. That means you're telling Excel that there can be anything after Mahika. Ergo, we would not appreciate any of such comments, etc. We'll have to ask you to leave in that case, please. Anyways. Okay. So Mahika, we use a star. No, we cannot use. Yes, Dr. Shiste, there is, if there is more than one Mahika, that's what I'm saying. For a VLOOKUP formula to work, for a VLOOKUP formula, it always has to have a something which is unique. So generally, we don't even apply it to employee name. We generally apply it to a employee ID. Just to show you how it works, but that's what I'm trying to do. Yes, then it will work, but then you need to have the surnames in. I'll tell you that way also. In the next question, I'll tell you what to do in that case. Because you have to have something which is unique on the left side. Right? Next question, I'll tell you a way which is very interesting, which is much beyond very advanced of it. Is this clear? The first way is clear. What I've done, I've used the same formula. Just instead of using Mahika, I have used Mahika star. I have to use Mahika star. We have two Mahika, one is Goel. Yes, Adesh, then it won't work. Then you have to do something else, which we'll do in the next problem. Right? Although it's not a very good practice to apply the VLOOKUP in the name itself. It has to be for the employee ID, which is unique. Serial number code assigned to. Yes, that is where we should apply it. I'm just trying to put in how to deal with such problems. No, we are not using data validation because of this reason. Okay, I'll tell you the other way. If you don't want to put the star here, can I put the star after F9? Will it work? Some of us must have tried. Yes, please don't send personal messages. That's true. It won't work. It won't work. It will give you an error. Won't allow you to run the formula itself. It won't work, but it will work. I'll tell you how. Just do something which I am doing right now. After F9, put an and, open the double quotes, put a star, close the double quotes. Just do what I have done. It will start working. And then you don't even have to write a star there. You can write any name, it will work. I'll show you the formula. In fact, paste the formula in the chat box. Just try with this formula and then try and change any name out here, see if it's working. See, we cannot unwish, we cannot use the star after when we are referencing it to a cell. We could have typed in Mahika and put a star, that we could do. But we cannot refer it to F9 and put a star directly. Then we have to concatenate it with a star. See if it's working. Satakshi is working now. F9, B3, 2, true worked. Just let me know what answers are we getting. It won't work. This is not meant for this. It will start giving you answers which is wrong at some instances. So this is not the right thing, right? So if I change it to JSV, this is working for something specific. Now see what we are getting. I change this to JSV, still I'm getting marketing. What is JSV for? Narendra, please try and change the name to JSV. Is it changing to finance? Your formula. It will not. Right? You can repeat with values. You can keep on repeating the values and then do it. Is this formula clear? Just to ask, is this formula clear with all? I'll put the formula again in the chat box. Wonderful. Quick yes, and then we go to the advanced one thing very interesting into this. Right? Why it was not working if I put a star just after F9? Because F9 is not a name or something, it's reference to a cell. Reference to a cell, we cannot use a star. So we had concatenated it with the F9. We said pick up the name from F9 and then put a star by using a concatenate function. If someone we have used the concatenate somewhere. So where the 2 before true comes from, where you can you please repeat? This 2 is because we are retrieving the department. If you see, we have selected this array. Right? In this array, this is column index number 1, this is column index number 2. So this is column index number 2. And star is not a function, and is used to concatenate two things, to join two things. So we have used F9 from where the name is picking up, and is used to join two things. I'll show you what and is used for. Suppose I have RRR, I have TTT. So if I write equal to this and this, it will just join the two things. It will become RRR and TTT. So this is what we call it as concatenation. So here also what we have done, we have picked the value from F9 and joined it with star. So if I run only this formula, just have a look at this. I'm just going to run this formula for you now. Equal to, and I'll paste this formula. See what output it is giving. Is it not giving you JSV star? This is what we wanted when we were entering the formula. What I have run, I've just run the formula which is F9 and star. So what output is getting? It's saying JSV star, which is going as an input to the VLOOKUP. Anyways, is this clear till this point? Any doubts? I can understand there may be some of us who may not be getting. I'll give you the solution to that also. Because a lot of us may be very beginners into it, so probably they may find slightly difficult because this being a masterclass for something very specific. RN 1 p.m. Wonderful, Anjali Hanshika. Everybody who's getting, can we put a quick yes? It is 235 of us out here. Quick yes will help me. It will boost me to take this head. Wonderful. I'll tell you one formula which we have put in on the Instagram reels also, before I take you to another advanced thing of this. Wonderful. Few more, but sir, if we have to make a different second, yes, then which one will you select? I'll take that problem first. First one, it will always be the first one. Yes, it is acting a conjunction for joining. It's used for concatenation only. It's a substitute to the concatenate formula. If we have two Mahika with different second name, it will always pick the first one. Mayank, I could not get your question. Please try with surname alone also. It can be done, but then you have to put a star before it. You have to put star and F9. So you put a Garg, it will give you for Jasvi Garg, but the surname cannot be repeated then. Okay, great. Let us come to one sheet. One more difficult thing, then we'll go and do something very simple, 2 or 3 very simple but very interesting things. One more difficult thing. If it takes only one condition, ifs will take a lot of conditions together, Aryan. If you can, if I say if this is greater than this is if. If this is greater than this and less than this and this and this, all the conditions, it will be by ifs. Anyways. Okay. Can you come to worksheet 1? Can we all come to worksheet 1? I have something very, very, very interesting to tell you all. Just give me few minutes. Okay. How many of us are finding it to be too difficult? I need to know that also. I can understand that can happen because if somebody has not used it, this is slightly advanced. So if you're finding it too difficult, just let me know that also. Probably we'll plan something for the beginners also then. Wonderful, Mohit. Great. Vardhan, I can understand that. Yes, we do, Aryan. That is complete. Little difficult, I can understand, Anita. I can understand because these are typically how it is used in the business world. That is what we are using out here. Right? In 1.5 hours, I don't want to get to the basics again doing the same syntax. Okay, Narendra. Follow from here point onwards. Both are done, but generally online. Great, Bhakti. Great to know that. Okay. Quick 1 or 2 more responses and I take this problem and then we do 2 or 3 simple but very interesting. Great. Thanks, Dr. Shishti, for confirming. Wonderful, Swati. Thanks for confirming. We'll talk of it, Aryan, offline after the session. You can ping me up. Thanks, Priyanka. Okay. Great, Akash. Thanks for repeating. I'm beginner. Parvati, you must be finding it slightly difficult. Don't worry. I'll give you an option for that also. Great. Okay. I'll give you the problem for this. What we are going to do here. We have first name, we have department, we have salary. Before I go ahead, I would also love to ask few of the friends who have joined from Bhutan, Nepal, and other countries. Are they finding any difficulty in the pronunciation and anything? If yes, please do let me know in the chat box before we go ahead and do this. Thanks, Tenzin, for confirming. Thanks for confirming. A lot of friends have joined in from various countries. I just wanted to know that also. Great, Dava. Thanks. Thanks so much. Okay, great. I'll come to this problem which will solve a lot of queries when it was being asked if two same surnames are there, what to do, how to deal with that. Great. Now can you see the problem out here? I'll expand it a bit. It has Deepak. Now can you see Deepak is there? Deepak is again there. One Deepak is in finance department, other Deepak is in marketing department. One Deepak is in finance department, other Deepak is in marketing department. There may be a Yash in HR, Yash in operations. If I have to apply a VLOOKUP, I want to retrieve the salary of the person. Listen to this carefully, slightly advanced. I want to retrieve the salary of the person whose name I enter here and department I enter here. That means if I enter Deepak with marketing, I want the salary of Deepak with marketing to come out here. If I enter Deepak with finance, I want the salary of Deepak with finance to come out here. Is it clear? Is the problem clear? That means if I type out this to be finance, I want the salary of this person to come out. If I type marketing, I want the salary of this person to come out. Right? Issue is VLOOKUP as a function. I can apply a VLOOKUP. I can apply a VLOOKUP and say look for Deepak. So VLOOKUP will always give for the first Deepak it comes across. It will not go to the second Deepak. Secondly, whenever we apply a VLOOKUP, the thumb rule is whenever we apply thumb rule is we will always look up for a value which is unique. Is Deepak unique out here or is it repeating? Is Deepak unique name out here? It is not. It is repeating. So we cannot apply this VLOOKUP to Deepak. So what we do? We do something which across industry people are doing is using we need a primary key in this database. Yes, Deepak is not unique, Deependra, because Deepak we have two Deepaks. Anyways, now what we do is something which we'll call it as a helper column. We'll draw something which we call it as a helper. XLOOKUP will also not work. XLOOKUP will work if there are only two Deepaks. So first or the last one will retrieve. Right? Okay. Helper column. Now helper column will do what? I want to create something out here which is unique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equal to this and this. What it will give me as output? It will join the two. That means it will give me Deepak Finance as the output. It will give me Deepak Finance as the output. If I drag it down, this is how it will look like. Just try it till this point. Do this what I'm doing. Just try it till this point. Do it what I'm doing. You will get a very interesting solution to very tough problems in industry now. You will get a very interesting. Okay. What I'm saying, I have created a helper column on the left side. Here I have written a formula which is just equal to this and this, and pressed enter, and will join the two. It's as good as using a concatenate function or a concat function or a text join if we have used it, right? And then we drag it down. Obviously, it will add these two together. Clear? Done. Now I am going to write the formula. Just have a look at the formula. It will help me do this. Deepak marketing, when we select, it will give me the answer. I say equal to VLOOKUP. Let us do it together. Type in equal to VLOOKUP. Bracket open. Type in equal to VLOOKUP, open the bracket. Done. Now select this cell. When it is asking me what to look up, select this cell, put an and sign in between and select this cell. Then put a comma. What I'm asking, it is asking me what to look up. Kya dhoondna hai? What to look up? I said you have to join these two and then look it up. So whatever I type here, this has to be joined, then looked up. Then it is asking me where to look up, what to look up, where to look up, from where to retrieve. These three things it will ask. Where to look up, instead of selecting the array from this point, see the cursor, I am going to select the array from this point. I'm going to select the array from this point, comma. Can you tell me the column index number? I want the salary to come out. Anvesha, it will not be 1. This is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. This is the fourth in the column. I've selected this array, right? I've selected this array. So in this array, where is the salary? First, column index number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it will be 4, comma, false. Now press enter. False is for because you are saying exact match. You are saying if you don't get Deepak and marketing, there is no one as Deepak and HR. Give me an error. Don't give me any approximate value. So false is for, if I remove this, you will understand. False is for exact match. Right? Now try and change this Deepak and finance. And see if you are getting the answer for Deepak and finance out here. So can we use Deepak marketing from helper column instead of adding and? No. Then how it would be linked to these two cells? If you will Achal select from here, how it will be linked to these two cells where you are taking these two? Ramesh, is this clear? Are we getting it from where we are going? I am not able to look at the pics, but the moment I look at it, I generally keep on asking. So if you have any issues, anyone, please do let me know. All who are on camera, I really appreciate, because that is where, if you can open the cameras, I'll be able to ask you better in throughout. Thanks, Shankar. So I hope this is clear what we have done. If you want me to put the formula in the chat box, do let me know, I'll put it. But you have to create a helper column for this. I hope this solves that problem also, where you were saying if the surname is different, you could have created a helper column, then use the same. Done? Great, Karma. Thanks for being on camera. Wonderful. Quick yes, if this is done at your end. I'll do something too, very simple thing. Probably that we have done in some of the reels on Insta also. Just give me a minute. Nandita, I'll explain. Where did you falter? What I'm saying is, issue was Deepak and finance. If you have a look at it, Deepak and finance, there was another Deepak who was in marketing department. So Deepak was not a unique name. So you cannot apply a VLOOKUP. So what we did, we created a helper column which is unique now. Deepak finance is different from Deepak marketing. While writing the formula, what we did, we said type your name. We concatenated these two. So what we are looking for Deepak and finance together. Where we are looking out here. And what we are retrieving, the fourth column data. So if you look at it, this is how we created the formula. And helper column is a very interesting and very used in the business world now. It will not, Priyanka. आपने यहाँ चेंज किया है, NA तब आ रहा है, अगर यहाँ फाइनेंस किया गया, आप HR लिख दोगे, it will give you an NA. Make sure you are writing a combination which is available out here. Yes, आप दीपक संग फाइनेंस करोगे वो भी चलेगा कि स्पेलिंग सही है, it will work well. But if you change something else, it won't. Change your setting, messaging to everyone, do not send directly to me. Yes, please. I'll share the formula and then we go ahead. Please do not share, write the chat to individuals. Please share it with everyone so that when I answer, anybody answers, it is for everyone. If you are doing that, we'll have to block it unnecessary. We don't want to get into it. Anyways, please make sure you change it from to everyone, whatever we are pasting. Great. Let us come to worksheet 6. I'll do a very interesting formula, but the only issue with this formula is it may not work in the older systems. If you are using Excel previous versions, it may not work. Here, then we don't need to. Yes, we don't need the Vijit. If you have unique ID, you don't need. That is only when you don't have a unique ID. Okay, a very new formula in market, in business world is if I have to divide these 5 together in group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. A very new formula. A lot of us may not have it in your systems, but I'll just, this is wrap calls. What I have to do, I have to divide these first 5 in the group 1, next 5 in the group 2, next 5 in the group 3, next 5 in the group 4, something like this. So wrap calls, if it is not showing in your system, do not worry, because you are using an older version of Excel. It is only available in 365 Ed. I am just showing it so that we understand it. After this, we'll just do one more formula, which is XLOOKUP, or one more thing before closing. Wrap calls is a very interesting thing. Previously, what we used to do is we have to select these 5 and paste it here. We have to select next 5 and paste it here for dividing into groups. If you have a wrap call in your system, if you have this formula in your system, you can just go and select this together, comma, put 5, bracket close and enter. See, you got your names. Why it is giving you NA? Because all the names till this point, I did not select the complete thing. I'll do this again. I'll just do this again. You will get it what I'm saying. I'll say equal to wrap calls, right? I did not select the complete data. That's why it was NA. So I select this, comma 5, comma 5, bracket close and enter. See, all the names got divided by 5. Yes, there is a reel for this on Insta. A lot of things, small things like these tricks are there on Insta. If you have joined it, you must have seen this. And for the next 1 week, we are going to put at least 3 more very interesting concepts on Insta also. Anyways, so the function is wrap call. If you are having it in your system, not saying everywhere it will have, you will have it, but you can just select the data, right? Comma 5. Why I am saying 5? It can be any. If you say 4, it will divide it by 4. It make a group of 4. I'll say group of 5s, wrap calls, and it is divided into groups. If I say instead of wrap calls, I would have taken wrap rows. What it would have done? If I say wrap rows, multiple of 5 because I had 20 ka data. I've taken Adesh 20 data. If you don't take 20 data, it won't fit in. So I've just taken 20 data. That's why I used it as 5. Just to show it better. Otherwise, NA will come in the last. So if I say by 4 or by 5, see how it happens. If I say wrap rows, it will give me 5 in the rows. First 5 in the first 5 as the rows. So these are the first 5 as the row. These 5 are plotted this way. So this is how it works. Wrap rows and wrap columns. Very interesting function and used extensively. Aja, if I ask you very interesting thing, come to worksheet 3. Come to worksheet 3. One more trick. In fact, one more trick before we talk of XLOOKUP, basics of XLOOKUP, which is very important, very interesting because a lot of industry has now started using it. If I ask you how many sheets, worksheet, do you understand these are your worksheets? These are your worksheets. Can you tell me how many worksheets I have used? How many worksheet data I have given you? How many worksheets data I have given you? 13. How did we do it? Did we count it or have we used something? Because it can be any, it can be, if it is 240, we cannot count it in any case. Count function won't work. But the count function is not to count the number of sheets out here. Is the question clear? If okay, I go here and say now I am introducing many sheets. Now can you tell me how many sheets are there in my system? Difficult, right? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And this is being asked, how many sheets you have in the data? And also one more question. I'm going to ask you, can you tell me on which sheet, in which number of worksheet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am working on the third sheet, which is 9th. Message to everyone to me, check karke theek hai, please do not send me directly, it's disturbing. Ashutosh, please change it to message to all, otherwise don't message. Right? Team, please help him do that or else ask him what to do. Okay. What I'm saying, if I want to ask you on which sheet I am working on which sheet? If I ask you that, instead of counting one by one, what you have to do is you have to type a function which is sheets. Can you see this function sheets? Open the bracket, close the bracket, it will give you the number of sheets. Open the bracket, close the bracket, it will give you the number of sheets. Open the bracket, just try and do it. You will get 13 as the answer. Satakshi, if you get another message, we'll have to put then Ashutosh on the waiting list, waiting room. Don't worry about it. Right? Okay. Next, if I am asking on which sheet I am working, you have to use a function which is sheet, open the bracket, close the bracket, it will give you are working on the 9th sheet. Very commonly asked in industry. And we 99% of us will go and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or else if we know something, we'll somewhere click here and try and look for how many sheets counting one by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and which we don't do. Is this clear? Have we tried this? Sheet and sheets. But difference between sheet and sheets is sheet is giving you on which sheet you are working. This third 1, 2, 3, you are working on the 9th sheet right now. So if I ask you, I have given you 20 sheets to work, which sheet you are working on? You will, at the end of the day, you will start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm asking, I've given you 20 sheets data to probably clean. Can you tell me on which sheet you are working? You will just say what? You will say, okay, equal to sheet, open the bracket, close the bracket, enter. You say I'm working on the 9 sheet. How many sheets have been allocated to you? You will say, okay, I'll just tell you. Open the sheet, open the bracket, close the bracket. You'll see I've been allocated with 17 sheets. I'm working on the 9 sheet right now. Getting a point? And it's a very common question being asked day in, and at that point, if you out of 100 sheets, you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, it will take an hour to just count the number of sheets which have been allocated. Anyways, I'll do one function which is XLOOKUP just because very in thing, and a lot of us may not have it. Just have a look at it. I'll tell you two very important things. Anishka, what do you want me to repeat before I go ahead? I'll help you out. Tell me, what do you want me to repeat? These two functions? Anshika? Okay, what I am saying, if I give you a work, I give you a work of lot of sheets. I allocate some sheets to you. I ask you how many sheets have been allocated to you. What we try and do, we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. These many sheets have been allocated. What I'm saying, don't do that. Just type equal to sheets, open the bracket and close the bracket to tell you how many sheets are there in your workbook. Second, what I'm saying, if I ask you out of 17, on which sheet you are working right now, just type in sheet, open the bracket and close the bracket and say enter. You will say I'm working on the 9th sheet of the 17 which are allocated to me. HLOOKUP is something different. Aryan probably will not be able to take it right now, but it will help you how to understand that. Okay. I'll tell you HLOOKUP. I can do XLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. I'll tell you. Just give me a minute. Anyways, HLOOKUP is what horizontal lookup. Like you are looking for vertical lookup. From you, vertical lookup was doing what? From this name, you are retrieving the value from here. HLOOKUP will ask you to select the name from the top and then will retrieve the value from down. So you are looking from left to right. There you will be looking from top to bottom. This is how this will work. Which one? Okay, I'll do that. Don't worry. Avdesh, before leaving, I'll do that. What is XLOOKUP? Has anybody used XLOOKUP? XLOOKUP is a very advanced function. A lot of us may not have it right now, but probably when XLOOKUP becomes available to all, it will be difficult because XLOOKUP is not compatible with 13, 10, Excel 13, etc. Right? XLOOKUP is available with Excel 2021 version, Excel 365, and Excel Online. XLOOKUP will probably go ahead and replace your VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP and index and match all together in the next 2-3 years. Right? So it is such a powerful function. XLOOKUP will ask you few things. It is asking you what to look up. So I say you have to look up for an image, Gaurav. Where to look up? Now my data to look up is in the next sheet. My data to look up. Here I want to look for an image, Gaurav. So I say you have to look up for an image, Gaurav, where? In this range. You have to look up for an image, Gaurav, in this range. It is asking me what to retrieve. I want the category where an image, Gaurav, is working. So I say you have to retrieve. You don't have to select the arrays all together. You have to select the arrays one by one. Right? And I close it. See what answer it gives me. It gives me an image, Gaurav, is working in TV department. Can you see an image, Gaurav, out here? In which department is he working? He's in TV department. The best part of this XLOOKUP is even if I put some spaces in between, still this will work. You don't have to select the complete column and then remember the column index number. It asked me where to look up. I said here to look up. Where to retrieve from? I said retrieve from here. That means you look for an image, Gaurav, out here and retrieve the value from here which I want as output. Important point. You cannot have this array to be selected like this and this array to be selected like this. It will give you an error. Both the ranges have to be of the same length. Right? XLOOKUP, probably we will do it in some other workshop in a detailed manner. Right? XLOOKUP ki power dekho aap. Just see the power. I did this in one of the reels also. If I use the XLOOKUP here, just have a look at it. What I want, can you see the data? It is item type, sales channel, unit sold, total revenue, right? I want for this particular name, whatever I select here, I want all three to be retrieved together. Just have a look. I say XLOOKUP. What to look up? I'll just increase the size of this so that it does not falter over it. XLOOKUP. What to look up? Look up this. Where to look up? lookup in this array. Here you don't have to select the complete array as we were doing with the VLOOKUP, comma. If I have to retrieve one by one, then I'll select this, but I want all these to come together. So what I'll do, I'll select all these together. That means for Shyam, I want all the entries, item name, sales channel, unit, total revenue to come up. Bracket close. I know Avdesh, because we are just closing. I'm just trying to introduce you to some things. I'll slow down. I'll not take it. I'll just, because there are a lot of people who need to leave at one. So I'm not extending it. Probably we'll do another session. We will do it again. So if you can understand, great. Otherwise, be connected. We'll do one more session. Right? Avdesh, I know this last few I have gone fast. Then between VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Aryan, VLOOKUP works from left to right. HLOOKUP works from top to bottom. We cannot. Adesh, we cannot look from right to left in VLOOKUP. If that we have to do, we have to use a combination of function which is index and match. Anyways, let us stop this here. Let us stop this here. First, let me know XLOOKUP. Akash, I'll tell you a way to learn it. Don't worry, because XLOOKUP will take another 20 minutes if I take it in depth. VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP ka difference I've already told you. VLOOKUP will only look from left to right. XLOOKUP can look from left to right. It can look from right to left. It can look from top to bottom, bottom to top, and there are a lot of more things which have come to it. If you want, if everybody agrees to it, you can put it in the WhatsApp group. You can in the feedback form, you can write, we want this. I'll do another workshop, another free masterclass only for these 3-5 functions. Okay. Anyways, first let me know, up till this point, do you find it interesting? First, let me know that before I take you through something more very interesting. Up till this point, was it useful? Did you find it helpful? First and foremost. And at this point, I would love everybody to be on the camera. We have 9 columns of people out here. I want everybody's screenshot to be there so that I can share it with everyone. Right? Before being on camera, I'll also show you something very interesting. Can you see this on screen? Right? This is the second in the series, free Excel masterclass. Right? We did what? We did a masterclass advanced data visualization with Excel. Right now, we did most used business formulas in the Excel formulas in the business world. Next, what? Next is this. I'll just take it to the next. You would understand. Next, what? Next is this. What next? Would we want to do a Excel masterclass on 2nd July on power of pivot table in Excel? We would do things which you might not have seen in pivot table being done. If yes, be on group. We'll share the link over there. You can just register over there. Don't share the link right now. I'll tell you when. So we are going to have a free masterclass on 2nd July on analyze data using power of pivot table in Excel. Right? I'll tell you everything. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll tell you everything where you will get what. Right? Just give me 5 minutes. Okay. I'll take that also. Don't worry. Power query, Gaurav will do. If everyone wants, I'll do a power query workshop also. We'll do in detail, Anvesha. This will be a detailed masterclass on pivot table. This will cover everything. Please share the Instagram handle out here. Team, please share the Instagram handle. There you are getting a lot of things. And we are going to put a lot of things in the coming weeks. Instagram handle link, if you can put it on the chat. Yes. This is the Instagram handle link. You can click on here and join it. There are a lot of things, the initial reels which we are seeing, a lot of concepts out there. Okay, next what? A lot of us were asking for a session which is a detailed session. I have not just planned right now when to do it, how to do it, but if there are a lot of queries interesting who wants to do the complete Excel from one end to another end, probably we'll do this, but not yet planned. So I'm not giving you any payment link or something. This we can do, but only if the interest of there are a lot of us who came back and asked to do a complete session on it. I'll keep it simple. I'll not keep it very expensive or something. This will be a 6 days, 7 days workshop together, which will cover everything from formulas till end, from the basics. So if you want to do this, I'll share the link over here. You just have to show that you want to do this. Fill in this form, everyone. If I get adequate number of entries who want to do this, I'll run this program over this. It will be a live program with recorded session. That means there will be live programs also. There will be recorded sessions also. I'll keep it simpler. I'll keep it cheaper. But if you want to do it, then only we do it. Otherwise, we don't. These free master classes will keep on happening. So don't worry about anything. So because a lot of us came back and said we want to do this, obviously 7 days cannot happen as a free master class going for 7 days. There is a lot of things goes behind. So if you want to do this, just click on this link, fill the form. I get adequate numbers. We'll share the payment link, etc. And you can do it. Anyways, we'll not stick to this. Right. Two things which I would definitely love you to do. First and foremost, your genuine feedback on how was the. We'll do that. I'll do that. I'll ask team to do that. Definitely, we'll share the recording. Genuine feedback on how was the workshop. I'll close this off, and then I'll ask you to do few things. Stop the share. Everybody, please be on camera. Good to see Shankar, Arav, Ankit, Ramesh throughout on the workshop. Thanks, Ramesh. Really helps, right? So if you can just if you can just give me your how was it, how did you like it, whether you learned something out of this 1.5 hours was useful. If you can put it in the chat box, some of us can speak up. Team, please take the screenshot of every sheet that you see on screen. Please, everybody on camera. I would love to see who I was talking to. Up till now I was talking to laptops only, to my laptop. Thanks, Achal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you so much. Vipin ji, how it was? Hopefully it was worth to attend the session. Thanks. You can even unmute and speak. I'll just put, I believe I have not logged the muting. If I've logged, I'll just unmute that. Unmute themselves. You can unmute and speak now. I have opened that also. Thanks, Avdesh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome. Most welcome to all. Bharti, hope you like the session. And
Thank you so much, sir.
most welcome, Adil. We'll share, don't leave the session. We're just going to share the feedback that becomes attendance also. So please share that form also. Thanks, Shivam. Please share the link for the, thanks, Dipin.
Sir, you always gives your 100% efforts in these kind of sessions. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Would love to do that. What's the point of doing any masterclass when you don't try to work it best for all? Everybody is spending 1.5 hours with me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the comments that is coming in. I hope you have taken the screenshots of all the screens. I would love to share it over group. Thanks, Anjali. Thank you so much. It works. Jyoti, please share the link. Yes, attendance form, and this has to be filled for the certificates. I am of the view because 800 people registered, 300 are here. So I don't want certificates to go to 800. Those who are here, those are filling this form, those who are here on the screenshots, would love the certificates to go to them only. Otherwise, it does not make any sense. Right, and thank you for being here. I am very happy to see such a good response with over 200 participants out here. We always expected it to go down to 1/4 or 1/3, and it is the same way. So registration number wise, if you see, it was almost more than 800. We had to stop it because our capacity was not that much. We were fearing if everybody comes in, we will not be able to accommodate. So we had to stop it yesterday evening, and we said we will not go beyond this. Thanks, Arav. Thank you so much. Please take the screenshots. I hope all the screenshots are taken, team. Even if they are not, we do not have also problem while using Excel. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Gunjan. Thank you so much. We'll do a lot of problems. Right. So thank you so much. You need to fill the form. Thanks, Devanshi. Thank you so much. Anyone else who would love to speak up? I have opened the unmute button also. Previously, I did not because I feared that this may not work. Dr. Sishte, hopefully this was useful throughout the session.
Hello, sir.
We'll do that also. Power BI will also do. Don't worry. Actually, will do that. I hope. So everybody is filled with the form. In case you want to do the complete workshop, you can always fill in that form. If adequate comes in, we'll plan it out. We'll then send you the links. If not, then these master classes are going to happen. So please do not leave the WhatsApp group. And request, team has worked so hard throughout. I hope you love their efforts also. Thanks to the team there. They have been consistently managing the data, arranging the data, who to send the mails, who are coming on this. It has been a wonderful effort by them. So managing 800, 850 registrations in last 10 days, it was a tremendous task, matching everybody, adding everybody, understanding who has not come on WhatsApp, who has come on WhatsApp. So a lot of work done by them also. And we would love to have you on our various social media platforms also. Please share all the links.